I want you to understand today's focus is simply to talk and honor the lives of the firefighters and the injured that lost their lives.
Breaking now at 6, these pictures have just been released of the victims in Sunday's firefighter ambush in Idaho.
We have the very latest information. Plus,
I'm Dan Hansen here in Milton Freewater, where a fire broke out at a body shop. Firefighters not only battled triple-digit heat, but also the flames, saving one neighbor's home.
That when you leave the stadium, you are thinking, oh, I really loved how they did that.
and happening tonight, drums along the Columbia. We'll have a live report from Kennewick.
How will the weather be? Stacy says hot.
That's right, clear skies, hot weather, a little bit of smoke way up above, but not terrible. How long is the heat wave going to last? Well, the news at 6 starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6 on your side.
Good Monday evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Wendy Redmond.
Very busy night. Good evening, everybody. I'm Austin Reed. It is the final day of June.
First at 6, we are continuing to follow late-breaking news. The man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students just agreed to plead guilty to all charges and avoid a trial. ABC News reports Bryan Kohberger accepted a plea deal, and he'll change his plea in court July 2nd. On the Facebook page for one of the victims, the family posted, "They are beyond furious at the state of Idaho." ABC says Kohberger will serve 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. He faced the death penalty if the case went to trial. Kohberger is accused of killing the 4 students in November of 2022. At the time, Kohberger was a PhD student studying criminology at nearby Washington State University. The prosecution and defense have been moving toward an August trial in Boise. The trial was moved from Leda County because of the size of the potential jury pool. And we continue to follow developing news. This in the case of the deadly firefighter ambush near Coeur d'Alene during the weekend.
New at 6, we now have pictures of the fallen and the victim. 2 separate press conferences were held this afternoon, where we also learn the names of the 2 firefighters killed. 52-year-old Battalion Chief John Morrison with the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department and 42-year-old Battalion Chief Frank Harwood with Kootenai County Fire and Rescue.
Chief Harwood is married, has 2 children. He is also a former Army National Guard combat engineer, so he's a veteran as well. Chief Harwood was a leader in our organization. He did an amazing job. He was a shift commander. He was well respected by his shift.
Yesterday was one of the most absolute darkest days that either one of these organizations has ever faced.
Another firefighter from Coeur d'Alene was shot, 47-year-old engineer Dave Tisdall. Officials say he survived and is recovering at the hospital. We also know the suspect who later killed himself was 20-year-old Wes Rowley. Investigators say local law enforcement has had 5 interactions with Rowley in North Idaho, but all of them were very minor. Officials also announced today that Rowley did show a prior interest in firefighting. The Coeur d'Alene Fire Department also just announcing within the last few minutes the fallen fire chiefs will return home to Coeur d'Alene tomorrow morning. For details on the procession, just head to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. Tonight, Mike Harris, the chief for Franklin County's Fire District 3, is responding to the ambush and answering questions about if there should be more security for his crew and others all across the Northwest. Harris says personnel routinely face unpredictable and dangerous environments, but he adds the Coeur d'Alene ambush highlights a glaring threat. Responders could now be targeted on purpose. He believes local and state leaders may consider enhanced safety steps like coordinated law enforcement escort on certain calls, helmet cams, GPS tracking, or more robust situational training.
Adding law for security, and that's going to be completely manpower driven. If you start arming firefighters, you have to train them. So you're going to have to send them to the range. You're going to have to train them, and you're going to have to equip them properly, just like you do law enforcement. And now you're adding a lot of extra liability
While there's no immediate plan for changes locally, there's hope that statewide conversations could lead to new safety guidelines. For now, crews continue to do their jobs with care and caution, while the entire fire service community mourns the loss in Idaho.
Time now for a check on weather on this First Alert Weather Day.
Let's get right to First Alert. Stacy Lee live in our weather center. Stacy, how long will this heat continue?
Well, the good news, guys, it's a short-lived heat wave, but excessive heat warnings in place and a First Alert Weather Day today and tomorrow, as potentially temperatures as high as 105 in some areas, 100 degrees in some areas that normally don't see that, and even in the Blue Foothills. So again, we're going to be heat-wise out there for the next little bit. Live look outside, Toppenish, our Legends Casino sky cam. Blue skies, a few clouds off in the distance, and the feels like temp is 93. Keeping a close eye on these humidity levels. They are dropping, and we're going to continue to see that, which is going to play into active fire weather. Let's look around the area at our temperatures right now. We're only seeing 100 on the map twice, Hanford and the Dells. Everybody else just underneath that this afternoon, but still nice and hot out there. Now, tomorrow will be the hottest day of the week. We're also tracking some upper level smoke. If you see notice a little haze as I was coming back from my trip yesterday, I noticed that haze hanging over. And again, there's some pretty good fires burning in central Oregon. Our flow of air is coming up from the southwest. That's what's causing that. Planning your evening, look at that. It's warm right now. It stays warm at 8. It stays even, 70s and 80s by 10 o'clock. And for tomorrow, lots of sunshine, breezy winds in the Kittitas Valley, PM breezy winds in Yakima. Everybody else sunny and hot. And again, First Alert Weather Day due to excessive heat. Now that'll wear off tomorrow, and then we have a transition Wednesday. I'll tell you more coming up. Austin, Wendy.
Hey, Stacy, thank you. New at 6 now, the July 1st Oregon Farmers Market has been canceled due to the extreme heat. Organizers say safety is the top priority as temperatures continue to climb all across the region. The Columbia River Heritage Trail open house, originally scheduled for the same day, will also be rescheduled. A new date has not yet been announced. Officials apologize for the inconvenience and encourage the communities to stay tuned for updates. Staying in Oregon, a Sunday afternoon fire destroyed a detail shop in Milton Freewater, sending flames shooting into the air and forcing firefighters to work fast in extreme heat.
Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen shares how one neighbor came dangerously close to losing her home.
Flames ripped through the detail shop on the corner of Northwest 5th and Main Street in Milton Freewater, sending thick smoke into the air and firefighters into action. Just steps away from the fire line, Lynn Moeller was sitting on her front porch when the sound and sight of the blaze made her jump into action.
I came out to the sidewalk and saw all the black smoke billowing out of the wall of the building. And then after that, it just continued to grow.
As the fire spread, walls of the building began to collapse, leaving firefighters racing against time. Fire crews from 3 different agencies converged on this corner of Northwest 5th Avenue and Main Street to help stop the spread of flames going into nearby businesses and homes. Now, the shop, just a shell of what it once was. Charred cars, warped metal, and collapsed wood beams are all that remain. Moeller says she was terrified the flames would spread, but incredibly grateful to the crews who kept that from happening.
The fire department did a marvelous job. They saved our house. They saved the apartment that we have in the back there, so it didn't catch fire, and so they had quite a job ahead of them.
While the cause of the fire is still uncertain, neighbors like Moeller are already looking ahead. In Milton Freewater, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Dan, thank you. We reached out to the Milton Freewater Fire Department to get an update on how the blaze started and if any injuries were reported. We are waiting to hear back. Wendy.
A fast-moving brush fire in Kennewick had firefighters racing to contain the flames. This happened Sunday afternoon. Crews from multiple agencies responded to the fire near Columbia Center Boulevard and 20th Avenue just before 3 o'clock. Officials say the fire quickly spread through rough terrain, covering about 20 acres before it was brought under control with help from a water-dropping helicopter. We're told no homes were threatened, and thankfully, no one was hurt.
Did have a little bit of difficulty getting into the area just due to the train, and then there's a KID water canal over in that area, but crews were able to overcome that fairly quickly and get water on the fire. Yesterday was very hot. We did have some winds.
Crews stayed at the scene into the evening, putting out hot spots to help prevent any flare-ups. Investigators are still looking into what started the fire.
One man is dead after drowning in the Yakima River Sunday night. Around 9 p.m., Benton County deputies responded to reports of a man who had fallen into the water near the Van Giesen Street Bridge in West Richland. The 55-year-old was floating with friends but was not wearing a life jacket when he went under. Deputies, drones, and dive teams were called in to search the area. The man's body was found dead nearly 2 hours later, just before 11 p.m. The 4th of July right around the corner, and tonight Washington State Patrol says they are stepping up enforcement of the state's hands-free cell phone law.
That's right. So Apple Valley News Now's William Albert explains why this kind of enforcement is so important this time of year.
Washington's hand-free law, enforced under RCW 46, makes it illegal for drivers to use electronic devices like cell phones or tablets while behind the wheel. And yes, that includes while stopped at a red light or sitting in traffic. However, during the summer months, often referred to as the 100 deadliest days for Washington drivers, Washington State Patrol says that they're working to get ahead of potential crashes.
During these summer months, we will have what's called emphasis patrols, where we'll have several officers from different agencies join forces, and they'll go to a designated intersection that's prone to have a lot of collisions, maybe a lot of distracted drivers, and we'll focus on that area for 3 or 4 hours at a time.
Mosqueda says distractions behind the wheel don't just come from phones. Drivers can also be cited for other behaviors that pose a serious risk.
A lot of people aren't familiar with the dangerously distracted driving law. That's a secondary offense in the state of Washington. And the best example I can give you is if you have your dog or your cat on your lap and they distract you a bit, so you're speeding and you move out of your lane and nearly hit another vehicle, you can be stopped for that primary offense, which is speeding, lane travel, but also get a ticket for dangerously distracted driving.
Last year in Washington State, 130 people were killed in distracted driving incidences. But as we head into 4th of July, there are other deadly distractions out on the road besides cell phones.
We're going to have individuals that are going to want to record each other going down the freeway or down the roadways while they're shooting off fireworks from inside of vehicles. We seem to get that on a yearly basis in our community, which remind folks that's 100% illegal. That's actually a criminal ticket. You can be cited for reckless driving, especially if you're pointing Roman candles, for example, at other vehicles and shooting them off at them. That can cause a serious collision.
But more than writing tickets, Mosqueda says the goal is keeping people safe and encouraging everyone to stay alert behind the wheel.
So just remember, if you are behind the wheel, it's the most dangerous thing you're going to do for most of us every day. So just focus 100% on driving.
Staying safe on our roads starts with staying focused and keeping distractions away. In Kennewick, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, William, the base fine for using a cell phone while driving is $149, but if you are caught a second time, that fine doubles. Wendy.
The city of West Richland just hired a new police chief. Chief James Fry joins the department with nearly 30 years of experience. He most recently served as chief in Moscow, Idaho. City leaders say his background in community policing and strong leadership will help support West Richland as it continues to grow. The mayor says Fry's experience will be invaluable as West Richland continues to grow and prioritize public safety.
The news at 6 is just getting started. Still ahead, we're talking about Columbia, the drums on the Columbia River. It's happening tonight. Also, we have a scam alert for Yakima residents.
That's right, and Stacy is coming back with your full First Alert weather forecast. Stay tuned for what you need to know to stay cool through this quick burst of heat.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single Papa Burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday special at A&W.
is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union, money where it matters.
At US Cellular, we created an event to celebrate our customers, like Luana here, called Us Days.
Yeah, they give us special rewards and exclusive deals and everything. It almost feels like we're part of a cool club together.
Sure does.
Slide Connect. Woo, woo, woo. Hug, shake.
Us Days just got bigger. All customers get a free phone with no trade-in.
We're Sell My House Fast, and we've been buying unwanted houses for cash, fast, for 25 years. We'll buy this house, and this one, even this one, not that one. We'll buy this house for cash, and this house, but not that one either. If you're relocating, inheriting a home you don't want, if you've got a tenant you really don't want, we'll buy it. If you're behind on taxes and want to avoid foreclosure, going through divorce, or if you just need cash to get out of debt, we will buy your house at a fair cash price, and we'll close fast too. So with us, no real estate agent, which means no commissions, no repairs or cleaning necessary, no appraisals or formal inspections, no open houses, no closing costs, and no long wait to close. Sell My House has been buying unwanted houses since 1999. Call to learn more. We'll buy this house and this house. Okay, not that one. We've got hundreds of Google 5-star reviews because our offers are fair and the process transparent. Call now and we'll connect you with a qualified local buyer.
1-800-219-0560. Friends have been telling friends about Colonial Penn Guaranteed Acceptance Whole Life Insurance for more than 50 years, and with good reason. If you're between the age of 50 and 85, it's a sure thing. Your acceptance is guaranteed because full benefits are not paid in the first 2 years. And the price? Options start at $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day. With Colonial Penn, your rate is another sure thing. It will never increase. And you should know this coverage can last a lifetime.
Call today, 1-800-270-5533.
Apple Valley News Now viewer Alan Rither of Richland.
We really appreciate Apple Valley News Now being on the air. It's more a part of our community.
We love hearing from viewers. Email comments at applevalleynewsnow.com.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
A flight over the golf course at Birch Creek. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
It is a night of music, marching, and high-energy performance in Kennewick. Drums Along the Columbia is back.
And that's where we find our very own William Albert live at Lansing Stadium. So, William, what's in store for tonight?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm at Neil Lampson Stadium here in Kennewick, and let's just say the sun and the heat are not keeping folks away. I'm seeing more people slowly start to trickle into the stadium for this year's Drums on the Columbia event. Now, for folks at home who might not know what the Drums on the Columbia event is, there's going to be 3 groups out here tonight performing music, doing routines, and those groups are the Columbian Drum and Bugle Corps, the Boise Gems, as well as the Santa Monica Vanguard. Now, normally these are competition teams that go across the country competing, but tonight they are focused on providing the best show possible to folks here in Kennewick and the Tri-Cities. Now, right now, there is no groups out on the field performing now, but they are starting to get, as I've talked to folks earlier in the day, they're continuing to warm up, and there'll be more people out here as we get closer to 7 o'clock. Back to you.
All right, William, thank you for that live report. New at 6 now, a warning tonight from Yakima Municipal Court about a new scam targeting residents. The court says fraudulent text messages are circulating, claiming people face license suspension or extra fees if they don't pay up. Officials are urging the public to be cautious, reminding everyone that the court does not send texts threatening fees or license suspension over payment issues. If you receive one of these, make sure you report it immediately.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And we're in a first alert weather day. Heat advisories all through the region. Taking a live look outside on our Yakima Fed sky cam. Light movement on our windmills just outside Tri-Cities. 97 degrees. Winds are light at 5. Humidity low. Sunset tonight, 8:52 p.m. Here's the big picture. Satellite and radar, ridge of high pressure moving in. And we're seeing some storms moving up from the southwest. We could see some thunder and lightning developing here in central Oregon, where we already have fires burning. So we're keeping an eye on that. Temperatures are the big topic of conversation. Month of June so far for Yakima. It's been kind of up and down. Most of the days of June, though, have been above average, with a record-breaking day back on June 9th. Temperatures soaring as high as 100 tomorrow. Then we see a little pivot on Wednesday, and then a cold front starts to move in. Now that's going to bring those breezy and gusty winds Wednesday. That's going to elevate fire danger. We'll talk about that in a sec. Let's keep going with our temperatures. Here we are. Tri-Cities saw more above average days than we did below average, and so it's been a warm month overall. But still not a lot of triple digits in there, only twice. We could see those triple digits developing tomorrow. Doesn't look like we quite got there today, but it's a good reminder to get your walks out of the way early in the morning. Make sure your pets have lots of places to cool off and drink water. Find shade, drink lots of water yourself, and again, check on the elderly over the next couple of days. So warm, dry pattern continues. Breezy winds develop in the mountain gaps tomorrow night into Wednesday. We do have a gradual cool down temperature-wise, with your temperatures in the low to mid 90s for the 4th of July weekend. Let's fast forward to Wednesday, and again, that's when we have some fire weather watches. We've got a big watch going pretty much all in the Columbia Basin, the Yakima, Kittitas Valley, Tri-Cities, and all the way to the foothills of the Blues. So we want to be fire wise. Dry vegetation, low humidity, gusty winds. Check out our relative humidity right now, very, very low through the region. Those are all the ingredients you need for fires. Here's the winds and what they're going to be looking like on Wednesday. Again, from 2 to 11, very gusty right here through the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. A little less in the Columbia Basin, but very windy once again in the gorge and along the foothills of the Blues. Add to that the dry vegetation, and there's your ingredients to make a fire cake, so to speak. So we want to be fire wise out there. Tonight we're going to cool down, but not a lot of relief as temperatures will only drop into the 60s overnight. For tomorrow, look for the triple digits here. Those overnight lows stay warm once again, and then here's that pivot. We transition. We'll start seeing 80s into the 4th of July weekend, eventually to the mid and upper 90s. Here's Yakima once again, triple digits. 87 on your 4th of July, looking lovely in Yakima on Friday night. And in Ellensburg, look for those breezy and gusty winds. More windy, though, on Wednesday as that cold front starts to move across the region. In Walla Walla, triple digits for tomorrow. And then there's the quick cool down back to the 80 and 90. Still slightly above average, but a lot closer to where normal temperatures would be for this time of year as we transition to July 1st tomorrow. Can you believe it? Last day of June. Say goodbye, June. Hello, July. So here you go in the 90s and 80s, and Friday for your 4th in Hermiston, looking lovely. So again, my advice, 4th of July, it's dry, it's hot, all that stuff. Go to one of the, pre-planned 4th of July shows. That's what I always do. So there you go.
That's right. Let the pros handle it,
Let the pros handle it.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in charge of all fire.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back.
Boom! Looks like T-Pain is too much for y'all.
Did I hear munch?
Sounds like someone's craving his new Munchie Meal.
Wait, do you just appear whenever somebody says munch?
Why, is that weird? Get T-Pain's new Tater Melt Munchie Meal.
Munch!
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Millions of people deal with obesity and face unfair weight bias every day.
We don't want you on our team. You're too slow and fat.
Weight bias is harmful, not helpful.
Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect.
Learn more about weight bias and how to help end it. Visit stopweightbias.com.
Let's work together to stop weight bias today.
We're Sell My House Fast, and we've been buying unwanted houses for cash, fast, for 25 years. We'll buy this house, and this one, even this one, not that one. If you're relocating, inheriting a home you don't want, if you're behind on taxes and want to avoid foreclosure, going through divorce, or if you just need cash to get out of debt, we will buy your house at a fair cash price. We've got hundreds of Google 5-star reviews because our offers are fair and the process transparent. Call now.
1-800-219-0560.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shell clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms. Take action with our Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. Try it today for only $14.95 plus get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Hear that? It's the sound of savings at your local Ford dealer. Get a sweet-sounding deal on F-150, Bronco, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Escape, and more. Hurry in today for the sound of savings, because a new Ford truck or SUV is calling your name. Just listen to this great offer. Employee pricing ends soon. Get up to $13,000 total savings, only at your local Ford dealer.
The 4th of July sale is on now at More Furniture with red, white, and blue savings in every department. Just in time for summer entertaining, family gatherings, and holiday celebrations. During the 4th of July sale, you'll get our very best offer. No money down, subtract the sales tax, and absolutely no interest until July 2026. Plus, you'll get free white glove delivery and will remove and donate your gently used pieces locally. Visit your local More Furniture, where everyone gets more for less.
You know I'm never afraid to lay it on thick. Like with my 100% beef patty melt with 2 melty cheeses and grilled onions all on my famous toasted sourdough. It's beefy, it's melty, and it's back. Starting at $5.49. Get so much more. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
A breaking news update now just into our newsroom. In the 5 o'clock news, reporter Monique Garcia brought us a report from Sunnyside, but he has some decisions now that have been made since that update. So here we go. The paid leave for city manager Mike Gonzalez has been extended by 30 days. There are new restrictions, though. The council says Gonzalez is not to have any contact with any member of the council except for the mayor and deputy mayor until the investigation is complete. The council also approved the interim city manager to continue on for the duration of the investigation. Monique will continue to update us as information comes in, and we'll have a report for you on this on Good Morning Northwest tomorrow morning starting at 5 a.m. Everyone else is signing off, but we are just getting started with the region's only live and local news at 6:30 p.m. With the 4th of July Friday, we are keeping you safe with fireworks safety tips you need to know. And it's a First Alert Weather Day, so Stacy is going to check back in with us for her full First Alert weather forecast. Also, make sure you scan that QR code right there on your screen and download our brand new weather app today.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. If your bath has seen a lot of life, nobody gives it new life like Bath Fitter. Whatever shape your bath is in, Bath Fitter will transform it with an amazing number of styles and watertight walls that are grout-free and easy to clean. With 40 years of experience, Bath Fitter knows what people want. An affordable remodel that isn't just beautiful, it's guaranteed for life. When it's time to give your bath new life, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Sometimes it's hard to see past the looming repair and replacement costs all around your house. Finally, you can stop seeing money and start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. Air conditioning, refrigerator, washer and dryer, electrical, plumbing, even your garage door opener, and more.
We've had our hot water tank replaced, washer fixed, with our upstairs and downstairs AC units fixed or replaced.
If there's one guarantee in home ownership, it's that things are going to break down. That's why I tell all my customers, get First American before your next repair.
There's always something that's going to break.
When an appliance or system breaks down, First American sends a trusted contractor to fix it. And if they can't repair the covered item, we'll make sure they replace it.
When you put in a request for service, it's like that.
We had a contractor out within 24 hours because he said, I didn't want you guys to go another day without heat.
As a contractor, they're so easy to deal with. They truly want me to do right by their members.
Members pay low monthly rates with unlimited claims and 24/7 customer service. And filing a claim does not increase your rate.
We've saved thousands of dollars with First American that we've been able to reinvest into our home.
I looked at more than one, and this was the best.
First American has been a trusted name for decades and is highly rated by customers on major review sites.
They follow through on what they say they're going to do. That's everything.
With all the repairs that have come through First American, the plan has been paid for many times over.
And now you can lock in your low monthly rate. All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-689-2492. That's 1-800-689-2492 to get your free no obligation quote. So call now.
A really fun golf course.
All the holes are pretty challenging.
Surrounded by Oregon farms.
The course is lined by old-growth trees.
Fly the Northwest over the golf course at Birch Creek.
And then, of course, you have the creek.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
It's F1 Mania Extra Style.
That buzz cut looks fresh.
Thank you. Brad's road to box office glory, and the women making his heart race both off screen and on.
I'm a sucker for a little bit of romance.
Next Extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Apple Valley News Now.
Let's go!
Country music's biggest night, the CMA Awards.
Let's party, Nashville!
It all kicks off with this year's must-see collaboration. Post Malone featuring Chris Stapleton live. With electrifying performances by Lainey Wilson, Shabuzi, Ashley McBride, Luke Bryan, plus Thomas Rhett and Teddy Swims. Luke Bryan, Peyton Manning, and Lainey Wilson host the CMA Awards live Wednesday on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
Right now on the region's only live and local news at 6:30 p.m.
Brian Kohberger agrees to a plea deal. The stunning details coming up.
Plus,
I'm Jake Gable, and coming up, we'll talk about fireworks safety and regulations and hear from the Kennewick Fire Chief on safe ways to set off your fireworks on the 4th of July.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6:30 on your side.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is a new week, the final day of June. And the team is back.
We're all back. We've got the band back together, as they say, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it feels good to be back, but it is a little hot out there.
It is very hot.
Yeah.
Another first alert weather day was today, and it sounds like we've got another one tomorrow. Stacey?
That's what it's looking like. There's heat advisories in the area. Yes, we have a short-lived heat wave, but very warm outside. In fact, 97 degrees, Legends Casino Skycam tonight. Otherwise, a few clouds hanging around the mountains to the south, but overall, not a bad-looking forecast. Let's take a look. We did see some triple digits earlier at Hanford, and the Dalles didn't quite get there in the Columbia Basin. Very, very close. So very warm evening overall. Planning your night out, 90s to the 80s at 9 p.m. I love these nights. When it's this warm, I sit out on my back patio and listen to the crickets. 11 o'clock, we'll see the 70-degree temp, so not a huge cool down, and then we get warm again. So yes, tomorrow a first alert weather day once again due to excessive heat through the area. Then we'll have a little pivot on Wednesday and then a cooling trend heading towards the weekend. But look for those triple digits and those breezy winds to pick up in the Kittitas Valley and Yakima Valley tomorrow afternoon. I'll talk more about fire, weather, and the cool down on the way for your 4th of July weekend. Wendy, Austin.
Stacey, thank you. New at 6:30 now. With the current heat, the conditions are ripe for a fire.
And with the 4th of July this week, Apple Valley News Now's Jake Gable has the rules and regulations for proper fireworks safety.
Fireworks stands have popped up all around the Tri-Cities in preparation for the 4th of July. With this, an emphasis from the Kennewick Fire Department has been put on proper fireworks safety.
Use fireworks responsibly. If you're inclined to go and purchase them, make sure that you light them off in an area that there's asphalt all around you. Make sure that you have a bucket of water to extinguish them, and just be really responsible with the fireworks.
With the 4th of July coming up, we want to be able to celebrate them, but we want to do it safely and make sure your fireworks are under regulation. Wildfires are already occurring around town, and you don't want to have another one be caused by your fireworks.
To light the fireworks, make sure that afterwards you wet them, just make sure, because it can be a windy day like this, they tend to tip over, and then you should have sparks and ashes, and that can cause a fire real quick. So and if you guys happen to have like a 5-gallon or any water, just put that out, and just to be safe, you never know.
Fire Chief Michael reminds citizens to make sure the fireworks they purchase are legal to use in the Tri-Cities. All fireworks that are available to buy in Kennewick are legal to use in the Tri-Cities, but fireworks from other cities might not meet legal regulations.
Tri-Cities and Kennewick regulations is these are all fountains, so they stay 10 to 15 feet on the so they don't go in the air, so they're not mortars or aerials. So that's the only difference.
Remember to be safe, as the fire danger level is currently high and conditions are ripe to start a fire. In Kennewick, Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
Appreciate the reminders, Jake. Thank you. And another reminder, legal fireworks cannot go into the air higher than 15 feet. Local vendors in the Tri-Cities only sell fireworks that meet these requirements.
Well, we are following the latest developments in the case of the deadly firefighter ambush near Coeur d'Alene during the weekend.
We now know the names of the firefighters involved, and these are new pictures of them. 52-year-old Battalion Chief John Morrison with the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department and 42-year-old Battalion Chief Frank Harwood with Kootenai County Fire and Rescue. They did not survive.
Another firefighter from Coeur d'Alene was shot, 47-year-old engineer Dave Tisdall. Officials say he is recovering at the hospital. The suspect, a 20-year-old, killed himself. The man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students agreed to plead guilty to all charges and avoid a trial. ABC News reports Bryan Kohberger will change his plea in court July 2nd and will serve 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. He faced the death penalty if the case went to trial. Kohberger is accused of killing the 4 students in November of 2022. At the time, Kohberger was a PhD student studying criminology at the nearby Washington State University.
More than one deputy with the Yakima County Sheriff's Office are on leave after a shooting Saturday morning out at a home in Outlook.
The deputies were called to the home in the 2600 block of Van Bell Road just after 11:30 a.m. for a domestic violence report. According to information from the Washington State Patrol, when the deputies arrived, they were met outside the home by a man with a gun. Authorities say shots were fired and the man ran back into the home. Several law enforcement agencies from Yakima and Benton counties, as well as from the Tri-Cities, were called to the scene to help.
After several hours, authorities went into the home, but the man was not found. No one was hurt, and the search for the man continues. We did reach out to the Yakima County Sheriff's Office today for an update, and they told us that Washington State Patrol has really taken over the investigation, so no more details are being released at this time. Do stay with us at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
A section of the city of Richland was left without power this morning, including traffic lights. This happened around Stevens Drive, Jadwin Avenue, and George Washington Way at around 8:30. City officials confirm it was a road crew doing work on the Stevens Drive reconstruction project. They tell us workers cut an underground electrical line. Around 420 households lost power for about 45 minutes. Electric crews were able to repair that line pretty quickly. We are still working tonight to find out why a BNSF train stopped on the tracks, blocking a busy road for about 4 hours this morning in Kennewick. The train stopped on the tracks, blocking North Edison Street, starting just after 7 a.m. Well, it isn't uncommon to see the train stopped for a few minutes at times throughout the week. This train took, as I mentioned, nearly 4 hours to get moving. We'll bring you the update just as soon as we have it. New tonight, the bipartisan 6-cent gas tax hike in Washington goes into effect this week. It is the first increase of its kind in about 10 years. Back in 2015, the legislature approved an 11.9-cent increase, which was fully phased in by 2016. Republican and Democratic lawmakers approved a 6-cent per gallon tax increase this year. While some released statements echoing cost of living concerns from residents, they also say it's something the state needs to keep highways in good shape.
Still ahead on the news at 6:30, we'll check back in with our William Albert. He's going to have more on drums along the Columbia. Plus, we take you to Franklin County's first ever therapeutic court graduation.
Yeah, a lot to stay tuned for, and also your weather. It has been hot out there, folks. Here's a live look out in Yakima right now. Find out how long this heat will last when we come back.
A flight over the golf course at Birch Creek. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. It's a commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Do you keep up with the trends or set your own?
Is the color dense enough?
Add more pigment. Launch on social.
We've got to take this global.
All right, so where do we go from here?
You've got to test it, perfect it, expand it. Never rest until it's right.
Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
It's time for Pasco's Grand Old Fourth. Get ready for a full day of family fun. Start with the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast at 7, then enjoy the pre-parade street dance and catch the cardboard regatta before heading to Red, White, and Swim. At 7:30, join us for the Battle of the Bands. Cheer loud and vote for your favorite. Then end the night with a spectacular fireworks show at 10 p.m. For a full list of events, visit PascoGo4.com.
Sometimes it's hard to see past the looming repair and replacement costs all around your house. Finally, you can stop seeing money and start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. Air conditioning, refrigerator, washer and dryer, electrical, plumbing, and more.
If there's one guarantee in homeownership, it's that things are going to break down.
When an appliance or system breaks down, First American sends a trusted contractor to fix it.
And if they can't fix it, they will replace it.
Members pay low monthly rates with unlimited claims and 24/7 customer service.
We've saved thousands of dollars that we've been able to reinvest into our home.
All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-209-8578. That's 1-800-209-8578. Call now.
Apple Valley News Now viewer Alan Rither of Richland.
I'd like to let Stacy know how much my wife and I really enjoy watching her program and the news, but especially the weather section, and the fact that she occasionally puts my photographs up on the screen as a viewer photograph. So thank you, Stacy.
We love hearing from viewers. If you watch Apple Valley News Now, let us know. Email comments at applevalleynewsnow.com. Apple Valley News Now, always on your side.
Come on. Come on. Come on now.
You have no idea what to expect now.
Come on, man.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. It's a commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just about 15 minutes away from a high-energy performance in Kennewick. That's because drums along the Columbia is back.
And that's where we find our very own William Albert live at Lansum Stadium with a look at what we can expect as they get ready to take the stage there.
good evening, everybody. For folks at home, they might be wondering, what are some of the songs that are going to be performed here tonight for Drums All Along the Columbia? I was speaking with the director of the Columbians earlier today, and he told me for the third song of the first ballot of their performance, they will be actually performing Going the Distance, the popular song from the popular Disney film Hercules. As well, the Columbians will also be performing the song Rain and Fire later on tonight. Now, that song is kind of special because that's a song that they only perform in non-competition settings. But, for folks who come here, don't worry. There's going to be plenty of more tunes that you're going to be hearing throughout the night that you'll probably recognize. So joining us now, we're having a member of Brom Bratata. They're helping set up for the Columbians here tonight. And we'll bring one over right now. Can you say your name for us and kind of what are you doing out here, sir?
So my name's Dawson Miller. This is a local steel drum band called Brom Bratata. We go all around the Tri-Cities and even out of the country sometimes, and we play local steel drum music for the community.
And I guess what is your involvement with tonight's event, and what's Brom Bratata doing here?
I think we're going to be filling in the spots during, before, and maybe after the chorus play.
Okay, and is this your first time participating in this kind of event?
This is. I've never been to Drums Along the Columbia, and it's a super great opportunity to be there with the band, too.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to just chip in about tonight, or for folks at home, maybe?
Search us up, Brom Bratata.
Okay. All right. Well, tonight's event will kick off here in about 15 minutes. But for folks at home, who are interested, there's plenty of information on tickets and whatnot. So yeah, I guess we'll head back over to the studio.
All right, check it out, AppleValleyNewsNow.com for all that information you need right there. Thank you, William, for that live report. Well, order for cake in the Franklin County District Courtroom. Franklin County is celebrating its first therapeutic court graduate and participant for their therapeutic court program. The county court says they were inspired by Benton County's program. Graduate Rosa Fairley says she was motivated to step up and be the first participant for a new start. Fairley says she recommends others do it too.
That sometimes you got to take that leap of faith, and they're worth it, and everything that they have to go through is worth it, and it will make a change in them and their lives.
After 16 months in the program, Fairley got to shred her previous criminal history goodbye. Fairley says she now plans to go back to school and take some business classes and hopes to become a motivational speaker.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
On this hot Monday, 97 degrees outside with low humidity, winds at 5 miles per hour, and our feels like temp 93. So the cruise ship was here in port. It just took off. Funny, I saw that coming up the Columbia yesterday on my way home from my mountain adventure. I'll tell you guys more about that later. Let's talk about the weather forecast. Here it is. We've got a system moving up from the south. That's going to bring some lightning and thunder to central Oregon. We're not going to see anything coming our way, but you can see that band moving on up. Otherwise, clear skies, ridge of high pressure continues to build. Let's talk temperatures. Topping out for the month of June in Yakima. Well, we spent more days above average than below or at average in Yakima, even breaking records in early June. Here's what it looks like tomorrow, hitting 100. Not really record-breaking temps, even though it's been hot for this time of the month. The Tri-Cities also well above the average for most of the month of June, with a few days below the average there and very few days right at our average. And 102 tomorrow, unfortunately, probably won't break any heat records, but it is hot and there are excessive heat warnings in place. But as you can see, we have a little cool down coming. Some heat safety warnings. Remember to get the pets out early. Make sure they have a place to stay cool. Lots of water for everyone, including the pets. Find shade, drink lots of water, especially if you work outside, and check on your elderly neighbors. So warm, dry pattern continues. Breezy winds are going to start to develop tomorrow afternoon into Wednesday. Wednesday, increasing our fire danger. We do have a gradual cool down as we'll see temperatures in the low to mid 90s for the 4th of July weekend. Here's what it looks like, though, fire weather wise. We've got a fire weather watch for most of the Columbia Basin, Yakima, Kittitas Valley. Very, very dry vegetation, low humidity, and breezy to gusty winds. Those are the ingredients we need to see a fire. Here's your relative humidity right now, extremely low. Anything below 20 is considered extremely low, and you can see it's beyond that. Here's what our winds are expected to be on Wednesday afternoon, especially the Kittitas Valley, Columbia River Gorge. I did see firefighters putting out a fire along the gorge yesterday, once again on my travels home to the Tri-Cities. And here's our dry vegetation map. Very dry, breezy, you know the drill. We've got high fire danger. All right, temperatures tonight, we're going to cool down, not for a long time and not very low, in the 60s for most of the region. That'll probably happen around 4 or 5 in the morning, and then we'll start to see temperatures move on up quickly. 102 for our daytime high, another first alert weather day. Breezy winds on Wednesday. 4th of July looking pretty good, 89 degrees out there, with winds hopefully staying down for folks out doing fireworks in their home. Yakima will see those temperatures from the 100s to the 90s and the 80s. Also looking good on 4th of July. Ellensburg, that's where we're going to keep an eye on those gusty winds, especially on Wednesday when our fire danger elevates. Walla Walla, triple digits, 80s, 90s, looking good there. And in Hermiston, similar 90 degrees for your 4th of July, and those low to mid 90s for the weekend. So yes, a very short heat wave, which is good news.
Yeah.
And really, our map, if you guys notice, we didn't really break any records in June. Nice. Several years ago, June was the hottest temperature ever recorded in Washington State, happened like around June 20th. So it's been relatively just warm, but not too hot yet.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Still ahead here at 6:30.
A special dog you saw here on Apple Valley News Now's Operation Best Friend now has a new home. Details on his long journey next.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single Papa Burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get it too.
The Tuesday Special at A&W.
If your group or organization would like to receive job postings, contact our Human Resources Department, 509-735-8369 to request notices.
Apple Valley News Now open positions can be viewed on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com.
The secret of every great chef is their knives and how well they sharpen them. Imagine a knife taking this much abuse and didn't need sharpening. Imagine no more. Introducing the incredible NutriBlade knives from Granite Stone. Coated with Granite Stone non-stick and made of stainless steel. One of the hardest substances on earth for ultimate cutting-edge durability. Now everyone can chop, slice, and dice just like a pro.
Very comfortable. Wow. Very sharp. I thought you had to be a professional chef to cut like this.
Yeah. Woo! This is really an incredible knife.
The Easy Grip rubberized handles deliver incredible control and accuracy. To chop salads in seconds, cut frozen solid meat with ease, and get razor-thin slices every time. The non-stick surface means food slides right off, and they're dishwasher safe. Plus, they'll stay razor sharp, guaranteed. Why pay hundreds? Today you'll get this complete set of 6 NutriBlades for only $29.95. You'll get the powerful Santoku knife to chop large fruit and dice onions, the slicer for razor-thin veggies and deli meat, the serrated bread knife for slicing fresh, warm bread with ease, the ultralight chef knife with reduced surface area for less friction. This versatile utility blade is great in the kitchen and around your home. And the precision paring knife for peeling and garnishing. $29.95 is an amazing value, but order right now and we'll even ship them to you for free. So get your own NutriBlade knives from Granite Stone, the last knives you'll ever buy.
To order, call 1-800-524-6914 or go online to buynutriblade.com. That's 1-800-524-6914 or go to buynutriblade.com. Order now.
Apple Valley News Now viewer Alan Rither of Richland.
We really appreciate Apple Valley News Now being on the air. It's more a part of our community.
We love hearing from viewers. Email comments at applevalleynewsnow.com.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. New from the Tri-Cities Animal Services, a former Operation Best Friend, which you saw right here on Apple Valley News Now, has finally been adopted.
Yay! After 586 days at the shelter, Joseph, the longest resident, has finally found his forever home. A perfect family fell in love with him instantly, with one daughter even moved to happy tears.
Aw, yeah. Joseph is now off to a new life full of belly rubs, snuggles, and adventures. He'll always be a part of the pack. 586 days, that's a long time.
There you go. Yay!
All right, we'll be right back. Final word when we come back.
The 4th of July is coming up, and just like Tri-Cityans have done for over 20 years, kick off the celebration early with the Dust Devils game and fireworks show. Come to Giesa Stadium on July 3rd and enjoy an action-packed ball game followed by one of the best fireworks shows of the year, presented by McCacken Electric. Happy birthday, America! For tickets, head to the official site, dustdevilsbaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
It's time for Pasco's Grand Old 4th. Get ready for a full day of family fun. Start with the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast at 7, then enjoy the pre-parade street dance and catch the cardboard regatta before heading to Red, White, and Swim. At 7:30, join us for the Battle of the Bands. Cheer loud and vote for your favorite, then end the night with a spectacular fireworks show at 10 p.m. For a full list of events, visit PascoGo4.com.
Hello, Shelby.
Hello, Mariano.
Upload Mrs. Robinson's case.
Processing.
Is there any new information?
The record shows no driver at fault. However, we found footage which shows the other driver caused the wreck.
Nice job. What's the insurance company's offer?
You know it's too low. Should I ask them for more?
Thanks, Shelby. But you know when they hear from the heavy hitter, they'll pay much more.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Injured in a car wreck? Call the heavy hitter. Attorney Mariano Morales.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I end up going to a dentist and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found this, the Brux night guard. This was a game changer. It's smaller than other night guards that I tried, which is a good thing because it doesn't make me gag. It could fit on the top or the bottom of the teeth. It's lightweight and super comfortable. Now the Brux night guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Go to BruxNightGuard.com and use the promo code to activate your special TV offer. That's BruxNightGuard.com. Order today and take advantage of this special TV offer. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Alien tape is strong enough to hold this fishbowl on a moving car. Just peel and stick and make anything stay in place quick. A wooden shelf, a basket to glass, rugs to the floor, and so much more. Alien tape sticks to brick, pavers, marble, tile, plastic, even leather. Nothing works better. Alien tape secures in seconds, then twist, pull, and rinse to reuse. You're dying to try it. Here's your chance to buy it.
Call 1-800-284-4157 or go to tryalientape.com. That's 1-800-284-4157.
A flight over the golf course at Birch Creek. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
And welcome back. Time now for a reason to smile. Our good friend Mike sent this one in. A sunset from Hamilton Winery on Red Mountain. This was their final sunset. They closed the winery. So unfortunately, good wine there at Hamilton. And thank you for sharing that beautiful sunset. Your reason to smile brought to you by Lifetime Dental. The QR code on the top of your screen. Easiest way to get your weather photo on the TV. All right, let's take a look at tomorrow. It's going to be a warm one. Look at those temperatures at 8. It's already like hovering just below 80. We'll be in the 80s, close to 90 by lunchtime, and then by 4, 90s and 100. So tomorrow it will be warmer than it was today. The good news is then we cool off after that. So it's not long-lived, guys. So first alert weather day nonetheless, and then be fire-wise as we head into our 4th of July weekend.
Yay. We'll just get through tomorrow.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Stacy. Thank you for joining us.
Have a great night, everybody. Hoping your news is good news.
Have a good one.